All right, so a few hours later, and we've let this set up and dry. It looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Got a couple little spots where I have some epoxy popping through, but I don't think you're ever really going to see it. Yeah, so that's done. I've gone and retrieved the butt section of the rod, the actual butt section, not not the same mistake I made the other day. And we're going to glue up the reel seat and insert onto the blank. As if you've been following along, you remember that we fit this reel seat insert, the internal dimension of this, to fit this blank. We actually measured and drilled it so that as this reel seat insert comes down, you actually come snug to the blank. And when we finish this rod, we're going to put this cap in, and that'll seal up the end of this, and that'll be a unit. So I have this really nice tight fit. Things come snug. And what I'm going to do now is apply the epoxy and actually glue this reel seat and insert onto the blank, and we'll be one step closer. Now, there's a couple things here that I want to be conscious of. The first is when I do this, I don't want a ton of epoxy oozing out of the end of this. In fact, I need some paper towels to make sure that I don't. Yes, I'll be right back. Okay, back with some paper towels, because I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is I'm going to apply epoxy to this blank, and I'm going to slide this down into place. And at the end here, I'm going to have, any excess is going to be kind of gooping out. And I want to be careful. I don't want to have a big mess on my hands. So the other thing I'm going to try to do here is, if I want this reel seat to align something like this, I'm not going to apply epoxy through this whole stretch of the blank, because I figure as I push this down, it's going to pull the epoxy down the length of the blank. At least that's what I'm assuming. I might go about this far and leave the end to kind of collect everything that pushes through. So just kind of eyeballing this a little bit, I'm going to give myself a mark where I want the epoxy to start. And I think just one turn of tape won't be so thick that this won't be able to pass through. Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, so as long as I start, well, I should be more precise, huh? Because I really want this to sit right about there. So let's move this tape and actually mark the spot. I mean, it's going to be hidden by the grip anyway, but the less I make a mess, the better. All right, that's a little better. So now I have a good mark for where I want to start my epoxy. And like I said, I'm probably going to do about this much and leave the end clean so that as the reel seat comes down, it pushes all the excess to the end. So here we go. We're going to do our mix. Part A, JB Weld, same stuff we used before. There we go. And I'm going to do a little bit more than I did last time because a little more ground to cover here. There we go. And part B, it's the hardener. As you can see, we got about a nice little dollop in there. I'm gonna try to match that